ألف ألف صلاة وسلام عليك يا سيدي يا حبيبي يا رسول الله. ألف ألف صلاة وسلام عليك يا سيدي يا حبيبي يا حبيب الله. ألف ألف صلاة وسلام عليك وعلى آلك الطاهرين الطيبين وعلى أصحابك أجمعين وعلى أزواجك أمهات المؤمنين وعلى ذريتك إلى يوم الدين. اللهم صل وسلم وبارك على سيدنا محمد الفاتح لما أغلق والخاتم لما سبق ناصر الحق بالحق والهادي إلى صراطك المستقيم. صلاة تكون لنا شفاء ونورا وهداية وبركة وحفظا ظاهرا وباطنا في الدنيا والآخرة يا أكرم الأكرمين، وتوفيقا وفتحا مبينا ونصرا مؤزرا. آمين يا رب العالمين. Shukran jazilan, terima kasih for this invitation and this beautiful gathering of الذاكرين الله كثيرا والذاكرات inshallah. May Allah make us of the ذاكرين الله والذاكرات. In tariqah, all the Ahl al-Tasawwuf, they have this rule, general rule, يعني قاعدة مضطردة, that is universal rule, that dhikr is the foundation of spiritual success and progress. Dhikr. يعني no dhikr, no tariqah. No dhikr, no progress. No dhikr, no opening, no fath. So therefore, the more we make zikr, the more we are spiritual. The more we make zikr, the more we are Sufi. The more we make zikr, the more we can say we love Allah and Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And the book of dhikr is the Quran al-Kareem. So Sayyidina Ibn Mas'ud radiallahu anhu, he said, you like to know how much you love Allah and the Prophet? Look how much you love Quran. If you love Quran, then you know that you love Allah and the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And one of the meanings of zikr in Quran is the Quran itself. So zikr means Quran, it means salah, it means remembrance of Allah, it means mention of Allah, it means thinking and love of Allah in the heart. It means khutbah also. Zikr has many different meanings. It also means ilm of the sharia, of the halal and the haram. All this you are doing zikr when you do that. May Allah make us of the dhakirin Allah kathiran wa dhakirat.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Di dalam tarikah ada hal yang sangat umum, yaitu zikir. Tanpa adanya zikir, tidak ada tarikah. Dan tidak ada zikir, tidak ada futuh. Jadi siapa saja yang ingin menjadi sufi, harus menjadi ahlu zikir. Ahlu zikir adalah mereka yang melafazkan berzikir. Tetapi zikir itu apa saja? Apakah hanya melafazkan kata-kata tertentu atau lafaz-lafaz tertentu? Tidak. Beliau menjalankan zikir adalah kita mencintai Allah, mencintai Al-Quran, salat, zikrullah, khutbah, ilmu syariah, ilmu akan halal dan haram. Semua adalah bentuk zikir kita. Semoga kita dimasukkan menjadi orang-orang yang ahli zikir.
A'udzu billahi minasy syaithanir rajim. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Sabbaha lillahi ma fis samawati wa ma fil ard. When we say, we read sabbaha and tasbih, fasabbih in Holy Quran, it means salah. Everything in creation making salah to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Wa huwa al-azizul hakim. وهو العزيز الحكيم. He is the Almighty. He is not in need of all of their salat or their tasbih, and He is the all-wise. And if we make tasbih of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, then we are joining all of creation. Because otherwise we don't want to be the Khalifa in creation and the Khalifa not making tasbih. Subhanallah. This would be completely illogical for us and the opposite of right. Therefore, if sabbaha lillahi ma fis samawati wa ma fil ard, everything in creation, heavens and earth, malaika, and even the plants and the animals and the jinn and the ins, the ins and the jinn, then they have a choice between right and wrong, and they choose. So some of them, they have iman, and some of them, they don't have iman. So we are called upon to be the first ones because we have khilafah in creation. So Allah is saying, look, all of creation making tasbih to me. All of creation is making salat to me. All of creation is making dhikr of me. And you, Ya Bani Adam, you are the Khalifa. Inni ja'ilun fil ardi Khalifa. And you are the first one not to make zikr. La ilaha illallah Muhammad. You must be the first one to make tasbih and zikr. Ya Rabbi, make us of the dhakirin Allah kathiran wa dhakirat. Ameen ya Rabbal Alameen.
Sabbaha lillahi ma fis samawati wal ard. Bahwa semua ciptaan yang ada di muka bumi ini keseluruhannya mereka berzikir kepada Allah, bertasbih kepada Allah. Semua ciptaannya melakukan hal itu. Walau Allah yang Maha Agung, yang Maha Mulia tidak membutuhkan semua itu. Tapi kita ingin menjadi bagian daripada khalifah-khalifah Allah yang melakukan tasbih, yang melakukan zikir kepada Allah. Semua ciptaannya melakukan hal itu. Tetapi dua dari golongan dan ciptaannya, yaitu manusia dan jin, diberikan kesempatan untuk memilih. Maka sebagian dari mereka melakukan zikir dan tasbih, tetapi sebagian dari mereka tidak melakukan hal itu. Tapi kita ingin dimasukkan, dijadikan bagian daripada golongan orang-orang yang berzikir kepada Allah.
Allahumma laulaka ma ihtadaina. Ya Rabbi, if it were not for you, we would never have been guided. Wala sumna, wala sallayna. We would not have known salat. We would not have known siyam. فَأَنزِلًا سَكِينَةً عَلَيْنَا. O Allah, bring down your malaika on us. Bring down your peace, itmi'nan on us, which comes from dhikrullah. وَثَبِّتِ الْأَقْدَامَ إِنْ لَاقَيْنَا. And make us stand firm and not fall. If we meet the enemy, and we are all the time we are meeting the enemy, because who is our greatest enemy? Our nafs. Our nafs al-ammara bis-su'. Our nafs, which is always telling us that we need more of dunya and to forget akhirah and not to trust and have tawakkul in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is giving you your rizq. Allah is giving istijaba to your dua. Allah is qareeb. He is near to you. Nearer to you than your own self. And when you have Allah as your mawla, ni'am al-mawla wa ni'am al-nasir. You have the best friend, you have the best protector, you have the best patron, you have the best ally. Don't worry and don't be sad, but rather trust, because Allah is your mawla. Ni'am al-mawla wa ni'am al-nasir. Allah is your friend and your patron, and therefore you are His mawla also, meaning you are under His protection. ألا إن أولياء الله لا خوف عليهم ولا هم يحزنون. Therefore you must never be sad and you must never be worried. And that is the mark of Iman. When you say ربي الله وحسبي الله نعم المولى ونعم النصير, it means finished. دخلت في ألطاف الله. Now I am under Allah's kindness and protection. Therefore I will never be sad again in my life. I will never be worried again in my life. And if I am sad or worried or depressed, you must know immediately, that's nafs whispering. Shaitan is whispering now. Shaitan is interfering and nafs is interfering. Immediately you say, Astaghfirullah. You go back to Allah, Tubtu ila Allah, wa raji'tu ila Allah. And we say, Ya Rabbi, kulli bifadlika, Ya Rabbi, be with me, give me your fadl, give me your forgiveness. You make zikr, immediately again you are attached to your mawla. And you say, Hasbi Allah, Rabbi Allah, ni'am al-mawla wa ni'am al-nasir, wa la hawla wa la quwwata illa billah al-'ali al-'azim. And you stay with the baqiyat al-salihat. You are connected to akhirah. Even though you are inside dunya, you are always remembering Allah. Allah gives you sakina, protection, and inshallah you are safe in dunya, fil hayat, wa 'inda al-mamat, wa 'inda al-nushur, wa fil akhirah. Amin ya rabbal alamin.
Kalau bukan karena engkau kami tidak mengetahui bagaimana sholat, bagaimana melakukan qiyam dan siam, Ya Allah, turunkanlah ketenangan bagi kami, sakinah, dan kuatkan pijakan kami, dan jauhkanlah kami daripada musuh-musuh kami. Siapakah musuh-musuh kalian? Musuh kalian adalah hawa nafsu sendiri. Maka berdoalah memohon kepada Allah agar Allah memberikan perlindungan. Allah Maula, Allah Sang Pelindung, Dia yang menemani engkau. Kalau engkau memiliki Allah sebagai teman dan pelindung, maka siapa lagi yang lebih kuat kecuali hanya Allah yang Maha Kuat. La khaufun wa la yahzanun. Para aulia Allah itu tidak ada rasa bersedih maupun rasa takut di dalam dirinya. Dan kalian semua tidak perlu sedih dan tidak perlu merasa khawatir, karena sedih dan takut itu hanya datang daripada syaitan, daripada hawa nafsu. Beristighfarlah secepat mungkin, kembali kepada Allah, tubtu ilallah, dan lalu berzikir kepada Allah, dan engkau akan tersambung dengan orang-orang yang saleh. Maka engkau akan selamat mendapatkan ketenangan di hatimu.
Ya Habibi ya Rasulullah, how much we love to be with you, and we love to be with those that remind us of you. And Ya Awliya Allah, lawlakum, if it were not for you, Ya Awliya Allah, what would we know? Where would we be? Would we be of Ahl al-Dunya, Abna al-Dunya, min Ahl al-Ghafla? We would be heedless, we would not know anything. But you raised us up like the good spiritual parents that you are. Awliya Allah, they are the best spiritual parents. They give us birth in Akhirah. Allahu Akbar. The birth of the life that never ends. The biological life that our parents give us in dunya has a limited span. So limited, so limited. It's like less than a drop in the ocean of time. And the ocean of time that never ends in Akhirah is a huge. Who is going to bring us there safely? Ya Rabbi, you sent us your Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. We are so thankful and grateful. We have shukr and shukr for the shukr and shukr for the shukr of the shukr that Allah guided us through Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And then Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he left us his khulafa al-rashidin al-mahdiyin min ba'di, and all of the awliya Allah. Until the end of time, there will always be people who remind others of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Until Sayyidina Isa alayhi salam comes back, and he will be the last one. And after that, Allah will take him back to him. And all of the rest of the believers at that time, there will be Qiyamah. Ya Rabbi, bring us to Dar al-Khuldi and Dar al-Salam and Dar al-Qarar and Jannat al-Khuld, safe and sound, and with shukr on our lips and dhikr in our hearts. Ameen ya Rabbal Alamin.
Jika kita tidak bersama dengan para kekasih-kekasih Allah, maka dengan siapa kita bisa bersama? Lalu dia sambungkan kepada kita, mereka para kekasih-kekasih Allah, orang-orang saleh, aulia-aulia Allah, bagaikan orang-orang tua spiritual kita. Kita bersyukur, berterima kasih kepada Allah terhadap keberadaan mereka. Dan Rasulullah SAW meninggalkan Khulafa'ur Rasyidin. Lalu Khulafa'ur Rasyidin meninggalkan orang-orang saleh yang terus-menerus sampai hari akhir membawa kita dekat kepada Allah SWT. Kita mohon kepada Allah agar kita digolongkan bersama dengan mereka.
Only yesterday we were children, thinking that life is forever, thinking that this happiness that we experience, that everyone has it and that it does not end. Today we grow old and we are nearer and nearer to the grave, nearer to death in every moment. And our teachers, they want to bring us to a time of certainty, the real happiness, al-aish, aish al-akhirah, to the real life, wal-akhirah, hiya al-hayawan, the real life, not this life. Even as beautiful as this life is, it is so limited that if we say to each other that this is the real life in dunya, it's like cheating, it's like lying to ourselves. So we are not being negative about the beauty of dunya or the goodness of this life. We say, رَبَّنَا آتِنَا فِي الدُّنْيَا حَسَنَةً What is the hasana of the dunya? The hasana of the dunya is to remember Allah in dunya. وَفِي الْآخِرَةِ حَسَنَةً, and that is the greatest hasana. There is no resemblance between the barakah of dunya and the barakah of akhirah. The real barakah of dunya is the part of akhirah, inside dunya. So when we remember Allah, we make zikr in dunya, it is as if you are already in akhirah, you are tasting something of akhirah. That is why our hearts are happy, our souls are healthy, because the nur of akhirah has now an opening inside our dunya and is coming and feeding our souls, and our souls are strong. And when our souls are strong, then we can fly up like the angels, up to be nearer to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and we can understand the speech of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and the speech of awliya Allah and what they are trying to teach to us, which is good for us in dunya and in akhirah. And the real life is the life of akhirah. Ya Rabbi, biha bihusn al-khatimah. Ya Rabbi, tawaffana muslimin wa alhiqna bis-salihin. And Ya Rabbi, we are looking forward to meeting you, to be with you and with your Rasul and your awliya forever and ever, happy, fulfilled, and to be like that one that to whom Allah said, you remember the goodness of dunya that you like? He said, yeah, yes, Ya Allah. And he said, you can have all that, all of dunya. I give it now to you in akhirah. All of it, and 10 times as much as that. And you know who that man is? He said, Rasulullah said, that man, he's the last one that Allah will bring out of hellfire and into paradise. Even for the last one, after everyone else will be brought out, then people who have so little iman in their heart, so little, and they just maybe said one time in their life, La ilaha illallah Muhammadur Rasulullah, he will bring them out of hellfire. And the last one of them that he will bring out of hellfire will come out completely burned, and Allah will throw him into the river of life. He will come out again fresh and new, and Allah will bring him into paradise, and he will say to him, you can have everything you want, and you can have all of dunya and all of what you like in dunya, and I will give you 10 times as much. And then that man will say to Allah, Ya Rabbi, are you mocking me? And you are the king. Is this true or is it a joke, Ya Rabbi? He said, no, I am not mocking you, but I am able to do all things. I am able to forgive you, and I forgive you, and I give you everything. This is for the last one to enter. What do you think about the believer who is asking for iman in their heart to increase, who is remembering Allah day in and day out with his tongue, with his heart, with his actions, with ibadah, with muamala, with sadaqah, with forgiveness? How much Allah loves them and how much Allah will give them. Ya Rabbi, make us of them, and do not leave us to ourselves, but bring us to you safe and sound, and give us forever and ever to be happy with you and with your Rasul. Amin ya Rabbal Alamin.
Baru kemarin aja kita rasanya seperti kanak-kanak, tapi berangsur-angsur kita semakin tua hingga kita dekat dengan akhir hayat. Beliau ingatkan kita kepada betapa sekejapnya hidup di muka bumi ini. Lalu beliau berdoa kepada Allah, Rabbana atina fid dunya hasanah wa fil akhirati hasanah wa qina adzabannar, dan dia harapkan daripada hasanahnya akhirat, daripada baiknya akhirat, juga bisa terjadi kenikmatan-kenikmatan akhirat itu di muka bumi ini. Bagaimana kita bisa mendekat kepada Allah agar dibukakannya, diberikannya kita kenikmatan di dunia maupun kenikmatan di akhirat. Lalu dia katakan kepada kita, berbahagialah karena cahaya akhirat yang ada bersama kita. Maka kita bersyukur akan hal itu, sehingga kita bisa faham dengan Al-Quranul Karim, kita bisa faham dengan nasihat-nasihat para kekasih Allah. Lalu dia mengingatkan kepada kita bahwa ada sebuah cerita, ada seorang umat manusia ini yang terakhir kali masuk ke dalam surga, yang dikeluarkan daripada api neraka. Beliau orang ini adalah orang yang hanya memiliki keimanan sangat-sangat kecil sekali, luar biasa kecilnya imannya itu. Tetapi dari keimanan ini lahirnya bisa bertahlil la ilaha illallah, dikeluarkan oleh Allah SWT daripada neraka, dan dia yang keluar sudah hangus, sudah seperti arang, lalu dihidupkan lagi oleh Allah SWT dengan bentuk menjadi manusia sempurna, lalu dia dimasukkan ke dalam surga. Dan ketika sebelum dimasukkan ke dalam surga, diberikan juga sama Allah, dikatakan bahwa engkau diberikan 10 kali apa yang ada semua yang ada di muka bumi ini 10 kali lipat diberikan kepada orang itu. Lalu orang itu bertanya kepada Tuhannya, ya Tuhan, apakah engkau bercanda kepadaku? Dia bilang, tidak bercanda, tetapi karena aku mampu melakukan semuanya. Allah Maha Kuasa atas segala-galanya. Maka orang itu yang mempunyai keimanan sangat kecil saja diberikan 10 kali lipat dunia.
If we have beautiful and healthy children who grow up and marry and have children, and we see our grandchildren around and the family is big, that is beautiful. That is one of the greatest beauties of life in dunya. But if we teach those children dhikr, that is much more beautiful. Why? Because even after we die, we will still experience the beauty of those children, because they will be making dua for us and they will be making zikr of Allah, and we will keep receiving the barakah of that zikr even after death. So you see the difference between the family life of the kafir and the family life of the Muslim. The family life of the kafir may be very beautiful in dunya and then finish, but the family life of the mu'min is a family life connected to akhirah. And every sip of water of the mu'min, every morsel of food of the mu'min is connected to akhirah, muttasilun bina'im al-jannah, because the niyyah was to do this for Allah, to give this food for Allah, to have this gathering for Allah. It's not just socializing, not just having a good time and a party and then tomorrow we die. No, it is because we remember Allah in dunya and in akhirah. We are asking not just for hasana of dunya, but hasana of akhirah. At that time, Allah puts akhirah value and akhirah investment in every moment, and every item and every atom of wealth and health in dunya is filled with the nur of akhirah. That is the zikr that we are asking for. That is the fath, the opening that Allah is giving us to the eyes of our heart, so that we can see that this is haqq, this is true. Hayatul akhirah is haqq, and it is beginning now. It is already now, because we have received that knowledge. Ya Rabbi, علمنا ما ينفعنا وانفعنا بما علمتنا وزدنا اللهم علما وعملا متقبلا آمين يا رب العالمين. Teach us what is beneficial for us, Ya Rabbi, and increase us with beneficial knowledge and beneficial actions that you accept, Ya Rabbi, Ya Allah, and that we will find them in the mizan of akhirah, including after we die, through the dua of our children and their good life as Muslims, of our children as believers, and their children and their children. Ameen ya Rabbal Alamin.
Anak-anak kita yang soleh atau solihat, anak-anak kita yang baik adalah anak-anak kita yang indah, dan mereka menjadi bagian daripada keluarga yang indah. Dia gambarkan kepada kita bagaimana keluarga muslim atau muslimah itu berbeda dengan keluarga orang-orang kafir, orang-orang yang tidak beriman. Bagi mereka, keluarga-keluarga Islam ini adalah keluarga-keluarga yang terhubung dengan akhirat, dengan Allah SWT. Zikir-zikir yang dilantunkan oleh anak-anak yang baik, anak-anak yang saleh terhadap Allah SWT menjadi tabungan bagi orang tuanya, menjadi tabungan untuk di akhirat nanti. Jadinya di sini kita bisa melihat bagaimana akhirat disegerakan di muka bumi ini, mendapatkan mereka kenikmatan di dunia maupun di akhirat, menjadi cahaya di akhirat nanti. Dan dia memohon kepada Allah SWT agar ditambahkan kita dengan ilmu pengetahuan yang bermanfaat, dan terus ditambahkan kita dengan ilmu-ilmu yang bermanfaat, sehingga nanti di akhirat timbangan kita menjadi berat dengan ilmu-ilmu yang bermanfaat tersebut.
One time, and I will finish with this story. One time they had prepared food for the people, and Rasulullah SAW had been invited, and they made a sheep and they cooked it, And people ate. Everybody ate, and everybody was very happy. And the poor came, and they ate, and everyone had food. And then Rasulullah ﷺ asked our mother Aisha radiallahu ta'ala anha, he said, هل بقي من شيء? From the food, from the sheep. And you know, they cut the sheep into parts, like the legs, the shoulders, the back, etc. And the trotters and so forth. And so people had eaten. So Sayyidah Aisha, she checked the dish of the meat. And then she came back and she said, Ya Rasulallah, ما بقي شيء إلا الكتف. Nothing of the sheep remains. ما بقي, يعني بقي means to remain. إلا الكتف. So Rasulullah ﷺ at that time, he replied with a reply from يعني the meanings of Quran and the meanings of zikr and the meanings of akhirah. The question, the surface was about dunya, about the food. How much of the food remains? So she said nothing remains except the shoulder. And then at that time, Prophet ﷺ, he said what? He said, بَقِيَ كُلُّ شَيْءٍ إِلَّا الْكَتِفِ. He said everything remains except the shoulder. Meaning what? Meaning that everything that has been eaten now, يعني the ajr of sadaqah, the ajr of food, the ajr of rizq has been written for those who made nafaqah of this food for the poor. That ajr has been written. That is the baqiyat as-salihah. So everything baqiyat. Now everything has become of the baqiyat except the shoulder. You see? You see the difference between the economy of dunya and economy of akhirah. This is a big teaching of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. He's saying to us, oh believers, look at your finances with the eyes of akhirah, not just with the counting of dunya. Counting of dunya, everyone knows it. The kafir and the mu'min knows how we count in dunya. But the counting of akhirah is specialty for the mu'min. And that one is, that budget is unlimited. So be clever, and focus on akhirah and be sons and daughters of akhirah, then you will be winning in the end. And you will be from the faizin. Allahumma ij'alna min al-faizin. وذلك هو الفوز العظيم. Amin ya rabbal alamin.
Suatu saat Rasulullah SAW bersama keluarganya mereka memasak kambing. Lalu setelah itu beliau bertanya kepada Aisyah radhiyallahu anha, apa yang tertinggal daripada semua ini yang sudah dimasak? Lalu dia katakan semua tertinggal kecuali pundaknya yang masih ada pundak dari kambing. Lalu diulang lagi oleh Rasulullah SAW, semua ada kecuali tertinggal itu pundaknya. Dibalikan oleh Rasulullah SAW. Di sini maknanya sebetulnya semuanya itu masih ada kecuali pundaknya yang belum diapa-apakan. Karena semuanya itu sudah dimasak dan semua yang dimasak itu menjadi makanan bagi banyak orang dan itu menjadi pahala bagi mereka semua itu. Mereka mendapatkan pahala. Lalu Shaykh Gibriel mengingatkan kepada kita, maka cerdas-cerdaslah kita dengan memandang suatu hal. Kita memandang dengan matematika akhirat. Bagaimana hal-hal yang tidak terlihat itu bisa menjadi investasi buat kita di hari akhir nanti. Lalu dia katakan kepada kita, jadilah kalian sebagai anak-anak akhirat. Dan itulah penutup daripada cerita daripada Tausiyah ini.
Allah bless you and thank you Mr. Armand for this blessed invitation. ومن الله التوفيق بحرمة الحبيب وبحرمة الأولياء بحرمة مولانا الشيخ ناظم مولانا الشيخ هشام بحرمة الفاتحة.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Terima kasih kesempatannya. Kebetulan kami kalau setiap zikir suka bawa anak cucu. Nah, pertanyaan kami, the power of zikir yang termidasi kita harapkan kepada anak-anak ini seperti apa? Satu, kemudian bagaimana kita memaintainnya untuk anak-anak yang seperti ini? Kalau kita orang dewasa kan kita bisa secara sadar memaintain zikir kembali di rumah. Tapi untuk anak-anak ini, jadi ada dua pertanyaan tadi, the power of zikir dan terdidasi, karena mereka sering masuk di dalam sel-sel tubuhnya lah, karena sering kita bawa. Tapi kemudian bagaimana kita memaintain itu agar mereka tumbuh nanti grow up menjadi movement-movement yang berzikir. Terima kasih. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Barakah of zikr is expanding into all of the areas of our life, including our personality, our muamalat, and including the house that we raise the children in, and their character, and their personalities, and their akhlaq. So they are benefiting, even if they are not necessarily always engaged in zikr externally as an activity, the way that adults are. Adults are on a higher, more advanced level, and there is above that level there is more levels, and above them also levels. And the best zikr is the one that is under or supported always by constant fikr, and fikr is unlimited, and the zikr in your heart also is unlimited. That even, for example, it is forbidden to make zikr with the tongue in the toilet, for example. But with the heart, it never stops anywhere. And fikr is part of that also. Prophet ﷺ was constantly in fikr, in thinking and turning to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So when the parents are like that, the children, they will eat that in their food also, and drink that in their milk and in their drink. So it will be in the air that they breathe inside the house. That is why we keep also with all of the other aspects of Islam, not just external zikr activity, but also akhlaq, and not to use bad words, to control anger, to bring down any bad attribute, to get rid of that gradually, little by little. Work on that, because we are works in progress. We have weakness. And we commit sin, but we make mistakes, but we make tawbah. So we help one another with that. وَتَعَاوَنُوا عَلَى الْبِرِّ وَالتَّقْوَى. And the parents are partners in that, and then the children will be beautiful flowers and trees in that garden, and they will also become strong trees that will bear fruit also in their turn, little by little, in their own time, at their own pace, more slowly than the adults, of course. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is giving you power and inspiration, so use that power and inspiration. That is why تَفَكُّرُ سَاعَةٍ خَيْرٌ مِنْ عِبَادَةِ سَنَةٍ. To think for 1 hour with that intention, it will be even more beneficial for you than the zikr of a whole year, or ibadah of a whole year. You see, then, and then that is why we say also to sit with awliya Allah, to sit with Maulana Shaykh Hisham when he comes, to sit with Maulana Shaykh Nazim is even more beneficial than zikr that is just zikr of taqleed, zikr of mechanical. Yeah? So when we have faham and fikr with dhikr, that is the real powerful one, because at that time all of the perspective becomes much more clear, and Allah loves for His servant to understand what they do, where they put their feet as they are walking towards Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and running towards Him. We walk towards Him, He runs towards us. We come close to Him, one hand span, He comes close to us, one arm span. So He makes it easier for us all the time, and we are thankful for that. وَلِلَّهِ الْحَمْدُ وَالشُّكْرُ. Anakallah.
Dijawab oleh beliau, bagaimana kita bisa menjaga anak-anak kita untuk tetap melakukan zikir atau mereka bisa tumbuh berkembang untuk menjadi orang-orang yang soleh. Beliau katakan berkah daripada zikir akan terpancar kemana-mana, akan merasuk ke akhlak dan kepribadian anak-anak ibu. Walau mereka tidaklah seperti orang dewasa, cara mereka berzikir juga tidak sama dengan orang dewasa. Memang semua zikir ini ada tingkatan-tingkatannya, semua satu sama lain tidak sama. Tapi zikir yang terbaik adalah zikir yang dibarengi dengan kita berpikir dengan baik. Dan juga zikir ini semua ada pada tempatnya. Tidak kita melakukan zikir tanpa adab. Contohnya, kita tidak zikir di kamar mandi. Lalu dia ingatkan juga kepada kita, jika orang tua itu terus melakukan zikir, insya Allah akan terpancar kepada keluarganya. Jadi zikir di sini bukan hanya terbatas di majelis, tapi zikir juga dibawa ke rumah. Zikir yang terbaik juga adalah bagaimana para orang tua ini menjaga akhlaknya mereka, terus-menerus menjaga akhlak. Memang tidak mudah kita menjaga akhlak kita. Kadang kita terpleset, kita berbuat dosa. Kalau kita berbuat dosa, cepat-cepat kita mohon ampun kepada Allah, beristighfar, lalu kuatkan takwa kita di dalam hati kita. Maka jika orang tua kita baik-baik, maka tentunya anak-anaknya akan ikut secara baik-baik juga. Lalu anak-anak itu akan secara perlahan akan mengikuti jalan mereka, para orang tua, menuju kepada Allah dengan baik. Allah memberikan kekuatan dan inspirasi di dalam diri kita masing-masing. Maka gunakan hal itu. Kita banyak bertafakur, karena tafakur sesaat lebih kuat daripada ibadah yang begitu banyak tahunnya. Dan juga kita disarankan untuk duduk bersama orang-orang yang saleh, bersama para aulia-aulia, bersama para ulama-ulama, di antara juga seperti bersama Syekh Hisham atau Syekh Nazim. Begitulah jawaban beliau. Ada yang menanya lain? Dari laki-laki? Ibu-ibu ada lagi nanya? Ya nggak apa-apa bu. Oh itu ada laki-laki. Maju ke depan aja laki-laki. Tadi juga Shaykh Gibriel mengatakan jika kita menuju kepada Allah, jika kita kuatkan langkah kita menuju kepada Allah, insya Allah Allah akan berlari mendekat juga kepada kita. Insya Allah seperti itu. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Tadi disebutkan kalau kita sebaiknya sering berkumpul dengan orang soleh, dengan para aulia-aulia Allah. Ingin sekali sebenarnya duduk bersama dengan aulia-aulia Allah. Cuman gimana caranya kita bisa tahu kalau itu adalah aulia Allah? Karena kan sekarang banyak yang penampilannya bagus, kita nggak tahu asli isinya benar atau enggak. Apa yang harus kita perhatikan pada saat bahwa itu adalah aulia Allah atau bukan? Jadi
Well, how do we know if someone is truthful? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, Ya ayyuhalladhina amanu, ittaqullah wa kunu ma'as sadiqin. Beware of Allah, and then be with the truthful ones. So before we go to see sadiqin and salihin, first ittaqillah. 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 Yani, between you and Allah, first of all, must be ikhlas. At that time, you will find, inshallah, you will not find the plastic imitation. You will find the asli, the real thing. Because it's true that we go and we say, this one is salih, this one is good, beautiful, etc. But might be all just a show, like show business. Might be. How we know the difference? We don't go with our nafs. We go with our taqwa. We go because we are asking for Allah. We are not asking for makhluk. So the wali is just like a ambassador. He's just like a messenger. He is just like a representative. He's not working for his own business. He is not representing himself. Like Maulana Shaykh Hisham, he loves everyone, but it's not for himself that he loves everyone. It's not like a personal relationship that he has. No. It's like, if you came for Allah, you will be close to him. If you are not for Allah, came for Allah, you will not find any other basis of relationship, like personal or business, or it's not like that. So that's what we are looking for, that kind of wali who is reminding you of Allah. As Prophet ﷺ described the awliya, he said, when you listen to them, they remind you of Allah. They point you to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. They make you make zikr. They make you make tawbah. They make you improve your hal, your position or your situation, your spiritual state. So when you observe this in yourself, then this is the real person, this is the real thing. Because that's what you are asking for. And you see results, that's good. That's a good sign. If it's just pleasure that we are experiencing, it was a nice meeting with nice music, and we made dua, and we cried, and then we go home, we did not change anything, that's not good enough. So the good khutbah, for example, on Yawm al-Jum'ah, is the khutbah that when you come out, something in you, from that khutbah, it stays with you. It changes you. Even a small thing changes you for the better. That means there's barakah, and there is hidayah in that khutbah. That's wilayah. That's what we are asking for. And good actions, not ma'asiyah, but hasanat, one after another. Muwalat al-hasanat, yani succession of good actions. That's wilayah. Muwalat, wilayah. Yani to have ta'ah after ta'ah after ta'ah. We sleep in ta'ah. We wake up, we start with ta'ah. We work with ta'ah. We are in obedience all the time. And when our disobedience diminishes more, and our obedience increases more, that means that there is good influence in our life. That's what we are looking for. With Maulana Shaykh, that's what we find with him, inshallah. That's the sign for us. So that's what you have to look for in your society. And Allah is guiding us. Allah is not tricking us. Because, as I said, we are afraid of him, and we are asking for hidayah, and we are trying to show ikhlas and sidq and taqwa. Inshallah, we will find success, falah, and fawz and azim, inshallah.
Bagaimana kita tahu bahwa yang kita dekati adalah benar-benar kekasih Allah atau orang-orang yang soleh yang ditanyakan tadi? Bagaimana kita bisa mengetahui? Beliau nasihatkan kepada kita, takutlah kepada Allah dan bertetaplah dengan orang-orang yang siddiq. Takutlah kepada Allah, takutlah kepada Allah. Dia ulang-ulang untuk kita untuk bertakwa dan takut kepada Allah dengan ikhlas, dengan sungguh-sungguh. Maka engkau nantinya akan bertemu dengan mereka, para awliya-awliya Allah itu. Engkau akan mendapatkan yang benar, bukan yang plastik. Engkau akan mendapatkan yang asli, bukan yang palsu. Dan juga dengan kita mempunyai takwa di dalam hati ini, jangan kita ikuti hawa nafsu kita. Kita ikuti jalan menuju kepada Allah SWT. Mereka, para kekasih Allah ini, membawa kita dekat kepada Allah. Mereka, para orang-orang yang saleh ini, membawa kita dekat kepada Allah, membawa kita berzikir kepada Allah, membawa kita melakukan amal-amal yang mendapatkan kita banyak pahala daripadanya. Jika kita datang ke suatu majelis, lalu kita mendengarkan dendang kasidah, lalu setelah itu kita berdoa, tapi kita pulang dari majelis itu nggak ada berubah diri kita, nggak semakin baik, maka itu tidak benar kayak begitu. Kita tidak mencari jalan yang seperti itu nggak benar. Kalau kita dengarkan khutbah, lalu kita pulang, terus kita berbuat banyak pahala, tambah kita bertakwa, kita ada perubahan dalam diri kita, dalam akhlak kita, maka itu yang benar seperti itu. Kita lihat jalan-jalan yang mendekatkan kita kepada Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala. Karena mendekatkan diri kepada Allah ini bukan seperti kita melakukan bisnis, atau bukan kita melakukan show atau pertunjukan, tidak seperti itu semuanya. Lalu beliau banyak menekankan, jika kita bertemu dengan mereka, lalu kita bertambah diri kita menjadi lebih baik, amal-amal kita semakin banyak, dan itulah tanda-tanda daripada wilayah.
Asyhadu an la ilaha illallah wa asyhadu anna